When planning our 3-week Canadian road trip, New Brunswick was a province we nearly left off our itinerary. But boy are we glad we didn't. From the rugged rocky coastline of the Bay of Fundy, where you can witness the highest tides in the world and walk on the ocean floor among the Flowerpot rocks, hike your way through never-ending pine forests to discover hidden waterfalls, or enjoy a coffee on the banks of the big Salmon River, to the city of St John, where you can witness a river change direction before road tripping some of New Brunswick's more unusual sights, like the world's largest axe, world's largest covered bridge, and a family-owned potato chip company. Not to mention some of the quirky accommodation you can stay in. So join us as we spend 3 days discovering one of Canada's best kept secrets. This is New Brunswick. We are starting our adventure here in New Brunswick at Hopewell Rocks Provincial Park. This is one of the most popular places to come and witness those incredible tides in the Bay of Fundy. It is the highest tide in the world. Sometimes the change in high and low tide is over 50 feet.
Which is mind-blowing.
And you can come and see both high tide and low tide. You can do it whichever way around you want, but you need to check the tide times because depending on the tide times and the park opening times depends on what you can and can't see.
I would rather do low tide than high tide, but because the way our trip sits and the way the tides are at the moment, we have to do it the other way around.
The other way. So we're seeing high tide first, which is, what's the time?
The time is 11:23.
In 20 minutes.
There you go. Oof, dust.
Yeah, it's sunny, the sky is blue, it is fresh today.
This is the coldest day we've had.
It is, yeah, hence the tops. But we're going down to the observation deck first, and although it is fresh today, that isn't snow.
No,
it's bits off the trees, it's not that cold. So the first observation deck kind of just gives you a very high level look. You can see the Bay of Fundy, you can see the water, but you can't see any of those iconic Flowerpot rocks that are here. So we're carrying on down the trail a little bit. There's more observation decks for us to see. Obviously we can't get to the ocean floor at the moment because it's under the ocean. That's for low tide. Yes. And they told us it's about a 10-15 minute walk down to the observation point, or
you can get a cute little shuttle for $2, which is £1. So,
but it's $2 per person each ride.
Yeah.
So that could add up quite quickly. But if you need the shuttle, then it's there for you to use. We're going for the walk. We need to
keep. We didn't do as many steps yesterday, so
so we need to keep our step count going. Now you think, being so close to the ocean, that all you'd be able to smell around here is the ocean. I can't smell the ocean at all I can smell is pine, because walking through these pine forests, it's literally like a pine scented room spray.
Yeah, I mean it is very pretty to walk through.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
But it's blocking the sun.
Yeah, we were saying it's sheltered the chilly breeze, but it's also blocked the sun.
Yeah.
And we can't have it always. Well, for now, that is as far as we can go down. Obviously it is closed any further than that because the water is literally over the steps. We've got about 3.5-4-ish hours until they open the ocean floor. So I guess we'll come back then. I think seeing high tide first, it's really difficult for the brain to comprehend
how deep it actually is.
Yeah, and that there's actually anything that special about where we are right now, other than the fact that it's a beautiful piece of coastline, but at the moment it just looks like ocean with a few rocks sticking out of it.
But I think later we're going to be like, whoa.
Yeah, the realisation once it's dropped is just how far it's dropped.
This is why I wanted to do it the other way around, but obviously because we can't.
And we'll never know if that's better unless we come back one day and do it the opposite way around. It's also interesting to see some of the erosion on the cliffs there, and some of those pine trees have just gone for it, fallen in. That's the end of it.
That's it.
They're pining for their better days.
Oh wow.
And I did read as well that
several years ago now, I think it's almost 10 years ago now, one of the most iconic rocks here actually collapsed. It was called Elephant Rock. So we won't be seeing that today, obviously, but there's plenty more left for us to see. How long they're going to be stood standing, who knows, because the water here is so powerful. And also, you may have noticed, it's very brown. And the reason for that is the water's so powerful, constantly moving, the tides change so much, it churns up all the sediment and it never has time to settle, which hopefully means it won't settle too much on the floor later and we're going to get really muddy feet. That's probably definitely in our future.
That's another story.
Yeah. But for now, we have a few hours to wait until we can get on that ocean floor, which means we'll walk back to the top, which is all uphill on the way. Great. Luckily, there is a restaurant at the top where we can maybe get a drink.
I'm gasping.
That's strangely a similar colour to the ocean.
I don't care.
Well, we've just had a little mooch around the interpretive centre, which shows you lots of facts about the Bay of Fundy and this area. There's even talks if you want to stand with the coach parties and take part in one of those talks.
I'm alright.
We chose not to. We went into the gift shop instead because we were hoping to find a cool magnet. They had a choice of two that were Hopewell rock specific and we didn't like either of them.
I'd rather just go without.
Yeah, so we've gone without. We've still got a few hours to kill and obviously we're not just going to sit around here for a few hours. So that gives us the perfect opportunity to show you where we're staying while we're here in Hopewell. But first, we need to go and find ourselves some lunch.
Because lunch is important. A full belly is a happy Josh.
And he's been thinking about lunch ever since breakfast, probably.
No. Okay, so we stopped at Oliver's German bakery because we was getting a little bit peckish.
And it was inside an old church. What we weren't expecting when we got there was a whole craft market inside and some incredible stained glass windows. So we had a little moochy round, but this is what we got for lunch. This is a spinach and cheese quiche. The spinach is grown locally, the cheese is made locally, the eggs are from a local free-range farm. It's basically like a little slice of New Brunswick.
It smells really good. It's kind of healthy.
Oh, it does smell good. I mean, it's got spinach in it. It's good for you, isn't it?
Let's get these muscles going.
We're going to tuck into that for lunch in a second. But she did also convince us that we shouldn't leave without a piece of apple pie.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. I was looking and I thought, no, it'd be good. And then she's like, can't tempt me for an apple pie. I was like, go on then.
She saw us looking and we was like, yes, you can tempt us with a piece of that. So we're going to save that for later when we're back here this evening.
It smells very cinnamony.
I know, I can smell it. I really want to eat it now, but we're not going to. That's going in the fridge for later. So, right, I'm going in. Oh, that's a lot of spinach. It smells really nice.
It smells really good.
I'm not sure what type of cheese it is, but it's not too cheesy. But there's a lot of spinach in there. There's a nice amount of cheese, not too cheesy, not too much. It's really soft, moist, but the crust is crunchy, but there's not too thick a crust.
Sometimes they taste really stodgy, and it doesn't taste stodgy.
That's really nice. And it was only $7.50 Canadian as well.
So what's that like?
Like £3.75? Yeah, that's good.
Good choices have been made.
Oh, and by the way, we're back where we're staying, so let's show you.
Welcome to our lighthouse.
Okay, full disclosure, it's not a real lighthouse. It is a cute themed Airbnb up on top of a hill on a ranch just about 10 minutes down the road from Hopewell Rocks. And the thing I think we love the most about this Airbnb is this incredible view. Just look at this, we can see right out to the Bay of Fundy. What a beautiful day, what a beautiful view. Love it.
This is the life.
It is the life. However, speaking about the Bay of Fundy, it's almost time for us to go and walk on the ocean floor.
I'm really looking forward to it.
There is one thing we want to see on the way though, which is literally just out the bottom entrance of the ranch on the main road.
Yep, something so simple, but we love it, so we're going to go see it.
Well, we were about to leave, and then Josh panicked because he saw something on the deck. Look at this. That thing looks deadly.
It looks deadly, but I've just done a Google Translate where you can take the picture and it'll tell you what it is. And it's a hickory tussock moth caterpillar. It doesn't say it's dangerous. Although now I'm feeling, a venomous caterpillar may be in, yeah, it's venomous. Keep away from that.
Looks like it should be. We haven't seen that many bugs here in Canada until we've got to New Brunswick, and now they're everywhere.
Yeah. Keep them doors shut.
Josh wants me to document the moment. He is driving in Canada for the first time.
I've been wanting to do it the whole trip, but I haven't found the right time. So this is the right time to do it. Driving out of our Airbnb place to the bridge thing we're going to. So there's no one here. I've only passed one car so far. So it's a start.
It's a start. I might get you to drive back from Hopewell Rocks later.
Maybe.
So we made it safely to here. This is an old road. It's no longer in use. The modern road is just over there and Josh has parked us up just there. I had to get out into the grass.
Is what it is.
And this is what we've come to see. This is Sawmill Creek covered bridge. It's a historic covered bridge. You can't drive over it anymore, as I say, the road's closed, but you can walk over it.
Which we shall do.
You've got to walk your horse and save a fine, so come on, I'll take you for a walk. I don't know what it is about covered bridges. This is the first covered bridge I've ever been on.
It is.
Have you been on any? Probably not.
Not that I know of.
So this is our very first covered bridge. It has that honour. I don't know what it is about them. There's just something so cool. I don't know why we're drawn to covered bridges, and we're not the only ones, because we've just met some people who just walked through the other way up there, and they're on a hunt and a quest to find as many as they can. Apparently there's 57 left in New Brunswick.
It's quite a lot.
And this is their third one today. It's kind of ironic that from inside the covered bridge you can look through the window out the side and see the modern bridge, which is distinctly more boring.
I think this one's more cooler.
This is definitely cooler.
Quite literally.
Yeah. And the other people were just telling us that they saw one earlier that was built in 1869. This one is from 1905. And they said about the 57, if you go on the New Brunswick government website, you can see where all 57 are, and you can do a big road trip to see 57 covered bridges if you want. We're not going to be seeing 57 covered bridges while we're in New Brunswick. We are going to be seeing 3 though, 1 down, 2 more to go, but that's for another day. Now we need to get back to Hopewell Rocks, because hopefully the tide should be out enough for us to walk on the ocean floor. Okay, this time we are making our way straight down the ocean floor trail to that last viewpoint where you see the Flowerpot rocks, so that we get the kind of grand reveal of how it is now. We are about 20 minutes away from having full ocean floor access. I think there's currently partial ocean floor access.
I'm so excited. We didn't really plan out the shoes as such, so we've got his running shoes and we've got my old Nike Airs on.
Yeah,
so
it says not to do barefoot because there could be gravelly bits down there and sharp stones and things.
I don't think I'd want to do that anyway.
But don't wear shoes that you want to keep forever.
I like these shoes, but they've got a hole in them, so
yeah, they're at the end of their life, bless them.
I've only had them for about 5 months.
Anyway, we're not going to see the actual peak of low tide. Peak of low tide? What's the opposite to peak? Trough. We're not going to see the lowest tide today because it actually occurs 14 minutes after the park shuts.
Yeah, so we won't be able to see it anyway.
But we don't need it to be right down to get that ocean floor access, so we're going to see it very shortly. Oh wow, that is quite different to earlier. So this was as far as we could get earlier. This was all closed from here. These were all covered in water.
It's crazy.
Now we're going down because it's open, which is good. Otherwise we wouldn't be going down. Just, yeah, let's go. And here we are, feet on the ocean floor.
This is so cool.
It's mad, isn't it? It's just insane to think that just a few hours ago, if we'd have been stood here, the surface of the water was like up there somewhere.
So it's a lot higher than me.
So now it's easy to see why they call them flowerpot rocks, because that's exactly what they look like. Just a big pot at the bottom and then trees and plants all growing on the top exactly like a flower pot. But what's mad to think is just a few hours ago when we came here, they were like tiny little islands.
Yep.
With literally 40 feet of ocean beneath them. This whole area would have had like cod, haddock, American
Sharks.
eels, possibly sharks, maybe not, all swimming around in it. And now just a few hours later, there's no ocean here whatsoever, and there's just people walking around. No fish. Well, maybe there will be, who knows?
Maybe.
I'm assuming they've gone out with the tide.
The other cool thing you can do, you can actually kayak around here when the tide is in.
At high tide, yeah, obviously.
That was something we was going to do, but when we were watching videos, it looked quite choppy. We weren't really sure what the weather was going to be like.
And we've never kayaked before, and I think it was like a 2 to 3 hour kayak, and we weren't sure if we were quite ready for that this time.
No.
Gives us an excuse to come back, and that would be really cool to do next time as well. But I mean, this in itself is amazing. And to think we're still over 2 hours away from low tide here.
Yeah.
Like that water is still going out. This is actually classed as partial ocean floor access.
Madness.
In about 2 hours, you'll be able to walk out even further, and I think that's probably where a lot of the mud is, because it's not actually too bad here. There are some muddy areas. I can see footprints in some sections where people have trudged through.
I'm happy with this bit.
It's quite easy to avoid the mud in this section though. Yeah, we have seen people knee deep in it, which is gross. Really gross.
I was a little bit gutted when we first figured out that we couldn't come here low tide and then come high tide, but I think I prefer it this way around anyway.
I was going to say the same thing. I mean, I guess we'll never know the other way round.
No, but I think next time we come we'll do it the other way around if we can.
I think the reveal of the water dropping, like when we got here earlier, it was just like, oh, there's the ocean and there's some rocks with trees on.
But
and now we've come back and we're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Like this couldn't look any different. What's weird is we were saying earlier that one of the most famous rocks here collapsed quite a few years ago, called Elephant Rock. And if you look at some of these, they almost do look like big rocky mammoths of some sort with their big hairy toes down at the bottom.
There is another one down there that looks like a bear from when you're up the top.
Yeah, we didn't notice it when we stood there earlier, and Josh posted a photo on Instagram and somebody was like, that rock looks like a bear, and we was like, oh. Now if you really wanted to, you could take off your socks, take off your shoes, and have a little paddy in the chocolatey brown waters of the Bay of Fundy.
Now I'm good. Although
no swimming. No swimming though.
No.
Not allowed to swim.
Don't want to swim.
I don't think you'd want to swim either.
There is someone laying on the floor over there. I don't think I'd want to do that.
It's a beach. Life's a beach. We were just saying as we walked towards this bit over here how it looks like something from another world. It looks like something from Avatar. Okay, I think I found my favourite rock. That one. It looks like a character from Monsters Inc. And I'm going to name it Egbert. So if you come here, come and say hello to Egbert. We want to see your pictures with Egbert. Well, come on, I want a picture of Egbert.
Oh, sorry about that.
Look how cute he is.
He looks like got some eyes.
Yeah, 4
mouth.
eyes. He's got a big fat lip.
Cool
and look
hair.
at his little hair. Look at that little do.
Oh, I can see it now.
I need my picture done.
So now your quest is, when you come here, have your photo with him and tag us on Instagram. We want to see it.
Now that Josh has seen Egbert, it took him a little while to work out what I was actually talking about, but he can see it now.
I can see it. He's cool.
Just when you think you've reached the limits of how far you can walk, you turn the corner and there's just another huge expanse of walkable ocean floor. This place has blown my expectations out of the water.
No pun intended.
No pun well and truly intended. I think out of all of the little coves that we've been in so far, this one has to be my favourite. Not only has it got just a handful of people, it's also a total sun trap. I am, for the first time today, warm, comfortable and tanning. Paradise on the ocean floor. I sound like the Little Mermaid. Careful, careful. Don't walk on the seaweed. I think I just heard it let out a little kelp. Handy.
Quite literally. Ooh, don't do that to me. Dude. Missed the spot.
I try not to soak my feet.
I've made my toes a little bit wet.
Well, that was an incredible experience. Not the first one we've had since we've been in here in Canada. Probably not the last either.
Definitely one of the top 10 we have done here.
Definitely a highlight. And until a few months ago, we didn't even know the place existed.
I know, it's crazy, right?
It's mad, isn't it? But I don't know about you, all that walking on the ocean floor has made me a little peckish.
I'm hungry.
So for dinner we drove about half an hour around the Bay of Fundy to a place called Alma, which is this cute little fishing village right on the waterfront. Now we actually came here for breakfast this morning to a place called the Muddy Rudder. So we thought we'd come back for dinner this evening because the food was really nice for breakfast.
We don't normally do stuff like that, but we liked it that much, we went back.
We did, and luckily there was different staff, so they didn't recognise us. We've just demolished a plate of nachos between the two of us, and then I was served an absolute monster of a burger with more fries than I've ever seen on one plate in my entire life.
Now, can I add, we've been on a major health run and we haven't eaten that much food in a long time.
And we didn't eat that much food, we couldn't finish it. What did you have?
I had Caesar chicken wrap, but with like 50 bajillion servings of fries.
Yeah, and coleslaw on both of them as well. So yeah, I don't feel like I've done enough steps.
No, and we've still got dessert to eat later.
I'm just glad we're not still walking on the ocean floor, because if that tide comes in, I'd definitely be sinking. Wow, just look at this, sun has just set. Beautiful colours. This morning we are driving the Fundy Trail Parkway, which is now operated by Parks New Brunswick. It cost us $25.02 Canadian to get in for the day. There's various different hiking trails, observation points. You can either do it as a scenic drive or you can get out and have a bit of a hike. We're going to do a mix of the two things, and we're starting at the visitor centre, which is just inside the gates if you're entering from the eastern side. They've got toilets here, which is always good because we were needing a wee.
And they also have a merch store, which, yes, I brought a hoodie.
He did buy a hoodie, and of course we did get a New Brunswick magnet because we haven't got one yet.
Yep.
And this is the first trail we're going to do, the Walton Glen Gorge observation deck. It's 1.1k. It's a nice gentle start.
Nice gentle start.
Into the Canadian pine forest, the bear infested Canadian pine forest.
I hope I see a bear from afar.
Very far. The other side of the gorge when we get there would be good. Can we just take a moment to stand here though and listen to how peaceful and quiet it is here? It's approaching 10 AM. I think the park's open 9 till 5 today because we're here off season. There's about 5 other vehicles in the parking lot here at the moment. Now there may be other people already on the route at different places, but if it's going to be this quiet all day, we are going to feel like we are deep in the Canadian wilderness, completely isolated, which is a vibe that we're on board with.
There is absolutely no service. It says SOS.
Perfect. Canadian wilderness, here we come.
Yep.
Ah, yes. Our first cable ladder of the day.
Nice.
It's basically bits of wood attached to a cable and slung over the hillside.
Slung.
Literally, slung down the hillside. That's why it's called a ladder. Well, we've made it to the observation deck and we have the place totally to ourselves. Oh, whoa. Wow. That is a gorge. So this is Walton Glen Gorge. It is known as the Grand Canyon of New Brunswick, and it's easy to see why, because it's bloody massive. There is also a waterfall down in the gorge called Walton Glen Waterfall. You probably won't be surprised to learn. We could hear it as soon as we got here, but it's taken us a hot minute to actually see the waterfall. Now we are here in September, it's been a particularly dry year, so I'm assuming once there's been more rain and stuff, that will be more of a gusher than it is now. You can actually do another hike from here called the Eye of the Needle Trail, which takes you down to the waterfall. You have to cross some of the river and get wet feet and everything, and it's a bit more of an intensive hike than the one we've just done. We're not going to do that today, but there are more waterfalls in our future here on the Fundy Trail. Is that happiness that we're not going to do the difficult hike?
Yes.
They're not all going to be as easy as this though.
No, I didn't think they would.
I adore that lonely little stick tree just on the edge of the rock on its own.
Now I can't think of a better place to have some breakfast.
And that is our breakfast today.
That is our breakfast.
Luckily there is somewhere on the trail we can get something proper to eat later, but you know, we're on a hiker's diet this morning.
We did indulge quite a lot yesterday.
Yeah, you saw.
So we need to burn it off.
You can also see the Bay of Fundy off in the distance. Obviously in a little while we're going to be driving a lot closer to that, and we are going to be seeing way more of that today, but not walking on the ocean floor like we did yesterday.
No.
From above. From above today. Give us a lift.
Excuse me, give us a lift.
I suppose we shouldn't be that lazy on the first hike of the day. Safe to say that cable ladder is easier on the way down, and I think that's probably one of the shorter ones we're going to see today.
Yay.
Well, that's hike one of the day complete. Now we get to do a little bit of scenic driving, stopping at some overlooks, and he's already asking about lunch. 10:49.
So?
So we've just pulled over at the very first lookout on the trail Parkway if you're driving east to west. And if this is the way today is going to go, I am not too sad about it. It's our first look at the Bay of Fundy proper on this trail. Obviously the rest of the trail is going to hug this coastline, and I'm pretty certain as well we're at the very end of Walton Glen Gorge, so this is where we were looking down the gorge and could see the bay.
Yeah.
We're now at the end of it.
Yeah. Do you know what? We couldn't have picked a better day.
I know,
Look
right?
at this weather.
And it's warming up. I think my jacket might have to come off in a little while.
We will see, but it's just stunning.
Anyway, we can't dwell on this first overlook too long because there's quite a lot of them along the trail, and there's loads of other hikes and various bits, and obviously lunch for us to do at some point. I think we've also picked the perfect time of year as well, because we've seen a handful of people and a handful of other cars, but just look how quiet this road is.
Tourist season's over now, so
apart from us,
it's
our season now.
We're here.
So we've driven literally 250 metres from the last overlook, and we've arrived to Champlain Overlook. We've already driven past another 2 overlooks before getting to this one. That's how close together they are. Obviously we're not going to be stopping at every one because we will literally run out of time. The park closes at 5 PM today, and we were warned on the way in it is gated. So if you're still in here at 5 o'clock, bang, you are getting locked in. We don't want that to happen. But we've stopped here because you can get a view down the coastline here of those cliffs meeting the Bay of Fundy. And the Bay of Fundy definitely isn't brown here like it was at Hopewell Rocks.
It's like really blue, glistening.
It's just such an incredible, I mean, this coastline is epic. It reminds me of when we drove the Big Sur in California.
Exactly that.
And I just wasn't expecting that from New Brunswick, I don't think. But I love it.
I love it. I'm here for it.
Well, bugger me.
We got in the car, we drove not even 10 seconds, pulled back over, was greeted with this view. It's all right, isn't it?
How stunning is that? Wow. We're going to struggle today, I think, not stopping at these overlooks if they're just going to get better as we go around. This is Martin Head Overlook, and I'm going to say, out of all the ones we've done so far, by far the best. This is a must stop if you come and do this one. speechless. I don't know how well this is going to show up on the camera, but the different colours of the rocks in the cliffs over there, there's like greeny ones, there's white ones, there's reddish browny ones, then obviously you've got the green of all the pine trees, the blue of the sea, absolutely stunning. Now don't panic, we will get to lunch.
I hope so.
Eventually.
I wonder if they have iced coffee. Imagine a nice iced coffee with that view.
Oh yeah.
Priorities.
Iced coffee, bit cake. No, that's not lunch, that's not lunch. That's dessert. Well, we've made it to the beach. Long beach to be precise, 650 metres long.
I don't think I'm going to dip a toe today.
No, it's a little bit fresh down here. What we are going to do though is set foot on the beach. I was reading, apparently this is one of the very few almost entirely sandy beaches in the upper portion of the Bay of Fundy.
Huh.
And we're on it. We are on the beach.
Nailed it, mate.
This is a pretty cool beach. Obviously it is mainly sandy, but then it's got like these big boulder rocks just dotted around it. There's some driftwood laying around, some seaweed, and then obviously you've got the waters of the Atlantic Ocean in the Bay of Fundy. You've got the dramatic cliff landscapes with all the pine trees on either side.
You know what? Reminds me of a movie.
Oh, what?
Jurassic Park 2, right at the beginning, where the people drive up in their yacht and they set up camp and that girl's eating her sandwiches and the little dinosaurs attack her. It reminds me of that.
Lovely.
It's just that setting there.
Now we are here about an hour until high tide, so there is only a narrowish slither of beach left that you can walk on. And obviously if we'd have been here at low tide, which was like 6 something AM this morning,
Would have been all the way out there.
yeah, we saw how massive these tides are yesterday. You would have been able to walk about a kilometre out. Well, some of these overlooks, you don't even have to get out of the car to enjoy. Look at that.
Oh, we've got a hairpin turn coming up.
Yeah, it's pretty sharp by the looks of it, judging by the warning signs.
We could be Tokyo Drift and whoosh around it.
We're not going to do that. Easy, mate. Nailed it. Right, on to lunch. But just before lunch,
It's testing my patience, this boy.
We've just come across another lookout, and this one is called Hairpin Turn Lookout. So I'm assuming if we walk down to the observation deck, we're going to get a look at the hairpin turn we just drove around.
That would make sense.
Maybe not.
Maybe once upon a time.
I don't know about you. I can't see it.
I see Christmas trees.
Now it's time for lunch.
I don't think I've ever been so happy.
Well, lunch is coming, but in the meantime, 2 iced coffees.
Cheers.
Cheers to New Brunswick.
To New Brunswick. I said that weirdly. To New Brunswick.
Are you happy now?
I'm very happy.
You've got a ham and cheddar croissant, and I've gone for a tomato mozzarella pesto panini.
I'm happy.
Food consumed. You can stop moaning about lunch now.
Do you know, I was expecting just the most basic, but they had amazing coffee and really good food.
And we also saw on the walls, they've got lots of historical pictures of all of the timber and logging operations that used to go on in this area. And right next door, we saw this heritage sawmill. So we're going to have a cheeky little look around.
Also, you know the coffee's good when we get some to go.
We've got another one each to go. All we need now is a view. Yep, I reckon this will probably do for a view with a coffee. I've had worse.
All I need now is a bear over there with a fish in its mouth. And I'll be happy.
You don't want much, do you? It's funny though that you should mention a bear catching a fish, because this river's actually called the Big Salmon River.
Oh, okay.
So I'm assuming there may be salmon in there, and a bear catching one of those is probably something that may well have happened here.
It just looks the right setting, that's all.
As a man in a costume with a bear comes out of the woods. Oh yes, we've finally seen a moose here in Canada. Luckily, as we're this close, it's just a photo op.
One for the gram.
One for the gram, one for the coffee table. We've made it to our second to last stop here on the Fundy Trail Parkway. We are at Fuller Falls. We're going to start with the upper observation platform, and then we're going to take that cable ladder down to the lower observation platform.
Cable ladder?
You know, like we did earlier. The steps they sling over the side.
I was thinking of something else. That looks incredible just from here.
Well, let's go and have a closer look. Just through the trees, there's like this little cove. You can see the waters of the Bay of Fundy, the cliffs, and then down below us, we can hear a waterfall, which is obviously Fuller Falls. Right, down to the bottom. Let's go and have a closer look.
Let's go.
Love this cute bench, by the way. It's all made out of logs.
It is very cute, isn't it?
It is, isn't it?
I like it.
Should have brought our coffees with us and sat there for a bit. Mind you, it's a bit cooler under it.
Yeah.
Cable ladder number 2 of the day. I think it looks a little bit longer than the previous one.
It is, and I will not fall.
It still doesn't look too bad though, he says, until he comes to walk back up it. Oh, bit steeper though. And some of these, because they're just bits of wood on a cable, if they're like loose off the ground, like this one, they bounce. Now this is a cute little waterfall, just casually falling over the rocks. Gentle trickle. I'm sure it's a heavier flow sometimes if there's been a lot of rain, but it's even in the sunlight creating a rainbow at the bottom today, and I love it. And then you can see the water just makes its way down under this rock face here, and then there's almost like another little mini waterfall over those rocks, and then out into the ocean and the Bay of Fundy. But as the water falls, we've got to go back up this bad boy, which we can report from the way down is a lot steeper and a lot wobblier.
Because and the steps aren't like that, they're like that, so you're a bit like
drunk.
Bit drunk.
That's how you feel. The weird thing is, unlike the one we done earlier, which was definitely harder on the way up, I think this one is actually easier on the way up, because I think when it's steeper on the way down and things move as your feet hit it, it just throws you off. We've made it to our last stop, Foulness Point, and the Flowerpot Rock Scenic Footpath.
I'm looking forward to it.
Which goes down steps to start with, not a cable ladder though. And by now, you should all know exactly what a Flowerpot Rock is, because we saw plenty of them yesterday.
It's like a little dance.
Dodge the tree roots.
Dodge the tree roots.
Oh jeez, isn't it a good job that it's not very busy out here?
That coffee then.
Oh.
Are we there yet? I'm tired. My feet hurt. That's from a movie.
He's been saying that for a while. It's like, it's from a movie and he doesn't know which one.
Can't think what it is, comment down below.
Now this is a viewpoint. This is everything the hairpin turn viewpoint wished it was.
Exactly.
I can see a tiny little flowerpot rock as well.
I also feel like there's a bug on me somewhere. Where?
Down there. Look, little tiny one. Look,
oh,
right there.
Well, the big thing that's not tiny.
Well, it's not that big. Although it's high tide, so maybe it is. I tell you what, I know you were joking up there about dancing around these as tree roots, but they are not easy to walk on. They just kind of stick out of the ground. There's grass back there and you can't see the roots so much. No. You're just like wobbling all around.
You really have to concentrate.
And I'm guessing that's probably why this is listed as a moderate hike on the map. Probably because of those stairs at the beginning and the fact that there's tree roots everywhere. Otherwise, this would be really simple. Ooh, this tree has bulbous bits. I've no idea what sort of tree that is, but they literally go all the way up.
Google Translate it, but I have no service, so.
Google Translate.
You could take a photo and it will tell you what it is.
I don't think it's Google Translate though, is it?
Google something.
Identify, that'll do. Save the best for last is something they always say, and that is something we haven't done today. This is probably our least favourite stop.
Definitely. And when we first stopped, the first thing we looked at was really nice, but then the next one you couldn't see anything, the trees are in the way, and then you go around a little more, there's nothing. There's nothing. It's just a lot of walking. A lot of walking and through. Not so much Flowerpot Rock Scenic. Yeah, it's just literally all got bushes, trail. And that's beautiful. It's a beautiful walk. Yeah. But we've seen a lot of that already. It's not what we was expecting to see. However, that does bring us to the end of the Fundy Trail Parkway.
What it doesn't bring us to the end of, though, is our time here in New Brunswick, because up next we are visiting St. John. There's a big sign that says St. John up there. We almost have the perfect view from our hotel room, but there's one tiny little bush
in the way.
Just in the way. But never mind, here we are, St. John, New Brunswick. There's a cruise ship in port this evening, Princess Cruises, and Josh just went, this is where you surprise me and say, oh, actually we're going on a cruise. We're not.
No, I know we're not. We do want to do a cruise, so maybe one day.
But what we are going to do is walk the Harbour Passage Trail, which follows pretty much the New Brunswick harbour and port area here, and at the end of it for us this evening is food. We need some dinner. We haven't eaten very much all day. We just had that small panini and sandwich and whatever
thing.
So we are peckish, and I think I've scouted out a decent place for us to grab some food.
And I still don't know where that is. One for Instagram?
It is. It's one for the coffee table, that. It's a bit clearer to see the St. John as well than the hillside one. I just said to Josh, I saw a picture on our hotel's website of somebody stood in this with our hotel in the background. Our hotel's up there, and then I noticed
it moves.
It moves.
And then if you get in frame,
I can recreate the shot.
And there's our hotel right there. Beautiful.
Voila. Well, it looks like St. John knew we were coming, Josh, because they've rolled out the big guns.
They rolled out the big guns indeed, and big tyres.
So as we were walking along, we just saw this wooden ship in the distance, and when we got up to it, there was a sign to tell us that apparently the Marco Polo was built here in New Brunswick, in St. John. It used to be renowned as the fastest ship in the world in the 1800s. That obviously isn't the real one.
No, definitely not.
It's just there to commemorate the fact that it was built here. We're learning before dinner.
Every day is a school day.
Well, it feels like we've walked a long way because we are now right on top of that cruise ship, which is massive from here, but we haven't actually walked that far. We've only been walking for about 10 minutes or so, and this is where we are heading, Area 506. It's a waterfront container village, and there's different eateries and things in there. I'm assuming they get a lot of people off the cruise ships. However, it seems like it's going to be very quiet for us. Well, we thought the reason it was going to be so quiet in there is because everything is literally shut. Luckily for us, the one place that we wanted, El Patron Taco Street Truck, was open.
Except,
unfortunately for us,
the card machine wasn't working.
You can't get it working.
We left all our money in the room. So
we're going to find somewhere else. Luckily, we just walked past a few places that look quite nice and busier than there. So maybe it's a good thing. Maybe it wasn't meant to be. Okay, take two, the St. John Ale House. I think I need a beer. Well, that probably wasn't the greatest food we've had since we've been here in Canada. No. It was just okay.
It was okay. The fries were cold, and personal preference, the salad was spiky salad, and I don't like spiky salad.
Yeah, we had a beaten goat's cheese salad, which was okay, and then we had a Kraken roll, which was lobster, crab and shrimp with fries.
That was the best thing out of all of it.
Yeah, as we say, the food was just okay. It wasn't too expensive.
It filled a hole, it done its job.
However, we did stumble across a piece of St. John history by going in there, because we didn't realise Moosehead Brewery was founded here in St. John. Now, we had a Moosehead Light somewhere a few days ago, so we had another one tonight because obviously we're in St. John and it's a beer that we know we like, but we sat underneath this giant wooden Moosehead, and it turns out that's one of the original logos for Moosehead Brewery, and two of those used to hang over the brewery entrance. One of them is now permanently on loan to the St. John Ale House, so that was pretty cool. That was definitely worth going in there for. But we've hit a bit of a wall.
I'm like,
Yeah, it's been a long day. We've packed a lot into today, and we've still got another day here in New Brunswick with lots more planned. So we will see you in the morning. Well, we're starting our day up here on the summit behind our hotel, behind the St. John sign. This is probably the best vantage point of the whole city and the harbour. The cruise ship that was in last night is gone, but there seems to be another one just on its way in now with the pilot boat in front of it. Don't know what cruise line that's going to be. We're also not on that one either.
no, I'm still really wanting to do a cruise after looking at all of that. I'm like,
As you can see, though, it's another beautiful day. Blue sky, sunshine again, and not as chilly. Look, we're in t-shirts.
It's a perfect temperature, jeans, t-shirt, and I'm happy with that.
Now, we're not going to be in St. John for too long today, but there is one more thing that we want to see here before we leave, and maybe find somewhere for coffee.
That's needed today.
This is a great spot though, just to park up, sit in your car, watch the cruise ship come in. Love it. All I need is that coffee in my hand.
Coffee and something to eat.
So we have come down to Falls View Park. Now, this is a pretty unique place because it's right on the St. John River, which for the most part is just a normal river that flows out into the ocean, into the very edge of the Bay of Fundy. We already know about the tides in the Bay of Fundy. We know how powerful they are and how much they change. It's no different here in St. John. But what happens here at high tide is the water from the Bay of Fundy pushes up the river, meets the water from the river coming out the other way, and where they collide here at Falls View, they create these really intense rapids, and eventually at high tide the flow of the river will reverse and it will flow inland instead of out to the sea.
It's really interesting to actually see it in person and see what it's doing.
It is. I mean, when we first got here, we sort of rocked up and we were like, well, this is fairly unremarkable. And in about the 25 minutes that we've been stood here, you can now clearly see the water flowing in to the river, and you can see the rapids starting to form, little whirlpools starting to form, the water starting to bubble. And we were just talking to a local guy who stood down here, and he was telling us there's some guys fishing out there. We saw the boat, but we didn't really pay much attention. And he said, as the tide comes in, as the water comes in, all the little fish come in with it, and these massive bass chase all the little fish in, and that's what they're out there catching. But they can only be out there for about an hour or so, because eventually the rapids here get so strong, they'll be like, oh, whoops, we sank.
There's a story.
There's the story. What an incredible place. Yes, the factory on the opposite side of the water spoils the view a little bit, but it doesn't make the phenomenon any less impressive. I don't know what I was expecting here. I don't think I was expecting too much, if I'm honest, but I'm pretty impressed.
I'm glad we done it.
Well, we've just stopped by a location of Java Moose Coffee Roasters, which was actually founded in St. John, and we'd heard it was really good coffee. We were not disappointed. That is possibly the best maple iced latte I've had since I've been in Canada.
I think I'm going to have to agree. And again, the price is crazy. It was £2.50.
Yeah, like
roughly.
five something Canadian dollars per coffee. We also treated ourselves. We had 2 little oat cakes, one cranberry and white chocolate and one dark chocolate, just to keep us going, because now we're going to be road tripping north through New Brunswick to our next accommodation, which we are really excited to show you later on. But we've got a couple of stops to make on the way. Well, welcome to the small New Brunswick town of Nackawic. I am fully aware I have probably said that completely wrong, but I'm saying it as it's spelt because that's the best I can do. But this is home to the world's largest axe.
And it's very big.
It's very big. Now, it might be like a random thing to stop and see, but we love random silly little things like this. I say silly little things, I should say silly big things, because this is the world's largest axe after all. And I was just reading, there's a little plaque on it that says it was put here because it symbolises the importance of the forest industry, past, present and future to this region of Canada.
We've seen quite a few large things now. We saw the world's largest firecracker last year.
We did.
What else did we see? Can't remember. We've seen quite a few though.
Can't remember. We've seen quite a few, and I'm sure we'll continue to see many more on our travels as well. But this is actually just a really nice area down by the river here. There's like a whole waterside park down here, and it's very peaceful. There's about 3 other people down here, and the sun's come back out for us. So we're just going to enjoy this space for a little while before we move on to our next weird and wonderful stop. And in case you're wondering, it is actually metal.
It is hollow.
Now that is a covered bridge, and it's no ordinary covered bridge. This is the world's longest covered bridge at 1,282 feet long.
And it is long.
And it is very long. It is hit. Oh,
he didn't realise you could drive through it, and we had to drive through it to get to the parking part, so that was quite funny.
well, I realised you could still drive through it. What I wasn't expecting was when I'd put the GPS to take us to the visitor centre that I'd have to drive through it to get there. I was not prepared, and all of a sudden we were at the entrance to the bridge. There's no like light system or anything to control in or out. You just have to turn your headlights on and look down the bridge and see if something's coming or not. So it was mildly terrifying. In fact, we filmed it on the phone, so we'll show you kind of how that went.
This is terrifying.
It's so long.
I mean, it is the world's longest.
And we're in a place called Hartland.
Ah, Hartland.
It sounds nice, doesn't it? It
Yes.
looks nice. The weather's nice. They've
It's
got the
warm.
world's longest covered bridge. It's going well for Hartland. We are nearly at the end of our little road trip north through New Brunswick though. We're nearly at our accommodation.
You saw that wasp, right? They're coming for us.
It's been bothering us while we've been trying to take photos.
trying to take selfie pictures for Instagram, and these bloody little buggers.
Right, let's get on the road because we need to get to our accommodation. We may have one more place to stop. We don't know. We'll explain when we get there. It's literally back over that bloody bridge. Now, hang on a cotton picket minute before we move on. We've just realised you can walk over it too. Obviously, we're not going to walk over the whole thing. That's 1,282 feet.
And if you're tall like me, watch your head.
This is pretty cool. I much prefer walking over it. It feels a lot less risque.
You can look at it, admire it a little bit. There's a lot of cobwebs. Lots of cobwebs.
I don't know if you can, yes, you can see all of those cobwebs there. Where there's cobwebs.
Means there's spiders. Oh, yes, I'm a bit windswept.
Couple of selfies on the bridge and then we'll get off them before you get eaten by a tarantula.
Yeah.
And having seen the world's longest covered bridge, of course we had to come and see the world's smallest covered bridge at 24 feet. Not so historic.
No, but it's still something cool to come and see.
And the reason it's here is because this is home to Covered Bridge Potato Chips, which is a local New Brunswick potato chip factory. Now they normally do tours of the potato chip factory, you can do tasters and all of that, but unfortunately in 2024 their entire factory was destroyed by fire. You can just see over here now, they are rebuilding it. And in the meantime, they're working out of a warehouse down in nearby Woodstock, but they have got this pop-up shop just here for us to go and buy some chips, maybe some merch, and a photo op with the Covered Bridge Potato Chips truck that's outside, and obviously the world's shortest, smallest covered bridge.
Yeah, it's bonus.
Right, time for a photo. Hang on, I need to extend this out because I can't see. Oh, you don't want the portaloos in it though, do you?
No.
Hang on. Right, there we go. That's it. That's the one. Nailed it.
Well done.
It's another one for the coffee table. Well, we just had a look in the pop-up shop. We wanted to show our support because this is a 4th generation family business and they are on the up again.
Yep, which is good.
You can, we said, see them rebuilding back there. This space here that's now nothing is where the original factory was, and we were just watching a video in the shop that showed all the news coverage of the day it happened.
They said it was to do with an oil spill that went wrong, as in like frying oil, not oil.
I guess it's the hazards of the business, but we wanted to show our support, and our support we showed by obviously buying some chips, obviously.
And we always collect stickers for our Macs at home.
And we have actually got a 3rd bag of chips, which is treble the size of those, which is an all-dressed one.
There was a bug on my leg.
You and bugs today. Right, we need to get to our Airbnb.
Yes.
That's right, tonight I am getting bitten alive. That's right, tonight we are sleeping in a train. And it's not a fake train either. This is a real Canadian Pacific railway carriage that has been converted into our Airbnb. It's actually sitting on original rails from the New Brunswick Railway that used to run through here, and they've even got the restored 1914 train station, which normally has a little museum inside, but it is closed for the season now that we're here, so we can't go and have a look inside, but we can still see it. So the full setup is here, the original station, some of the original rails, and then these train carriages, one of which we know is definitely an Airbnb. One at the far end we know is a restaurant, which we think is also closed for the season. And the middle one, we're not sure. It looks like it might have the kitchen for the restaurant inside, possibly a second smaller Airbnb.
I thought it was another Airbnb, but who knows?
We're not sure. All we know is we're staying in this end one and we have the whole carriage, so wait until you see inside of this bad boy.
This place is cool. All aboard? Okay, welcome aboard to probably one of the best Airbnbs we've stayed yet.
And probably one of the longest Airbnbs we've stayed in yet. You literally get the whole length of the carriage, and as you walk through, the first thing is the bedroom. Not is there only one bed, not is there only 2 beds, there is 3 queen beds, double beds. They look bigger than a double to me. I think they're queen.
So if we argue once, twice,
if one of them's not as comfortable, we'll move to another one. It's all good. They've all got little curtains around them for privacy, so if you're staying here as a group, you've got a bit of privacy. And in between each bed as well is like this window seat where you can just sit, chill, look out the window. And
if you head on a little bit further, air conditioning unit needed, then you're greeted with this cool little kitchenette, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, it is. It's got a full-size fridge freezer though. It's got toaster, a Keurig, oh yeah.
With loads of coffee.
Yeah, they've left us loads of coffee. There's a microwave, there's a cute diddy little sink, there's all pots and pans and cutlery and crockery and everything going on in these drawers. And they leave you breakfast for the next morning as well. We've got some grapes, we've got some satsumas,
easy peelers,
oranges, whatever, yeah. We've got a little cute thing of granola. We think that is sourdough bread in the bag. There's all the coffee up here, there's jams, there's maple syrup in a cute maple leaf shaped bottle thing. What's that? Is that peanut butter in there? There's normal butter all up here. We've got Quaker porridge oats here. We've got 2 types of cereal to choose from. And then when we opened the fridge,
now this amazed us both quite a lot because we were like, we should buy some milk, la-di-da-di-da. No, they've got it sorted.
They've got it all sorted.
We have 2 of our favourite yogurts. 4 of our favourite yogurts, sorry. This is our favourite, the blueberry.
Yeah, we've been having these at a lot of hotels and they're really nice.
Then you got your vanilla. And then we think
they're like homemade, I think they call them apple crisps here in Canada. I had one the other day. It's a bit like an apple crumble in a little pot.
Yep,
so that's dessert later.
Nice touch. 2% milk,
Yeah, we do like a 2% milk.
And 2 juices each.
Yeah.
Not apple and orange.
Yeah, don't bash your elbow, will you? Also, we did think, oh, we forgot to buy any bottled water before we got here.
They've already got it sorted. They have iced water on tap.
We have our own water cooler. That is pretty amazing because that means the 2 little bottles that we bought earlier, we can refill again and take on our road trip.
Yes. But then that brings us into the living room.
And this is a nice space. Living dining room as well, because there's a dining table, there's a couch that you can sit on and watch the TV that's up on the wall, or just gaze longingly out of the window like you do. Follow the conductor into the deepest, darkest depth of the bathroom.
I wonder if that switches on. Yes, it does. It actually turns on.
Follow the conductor. I'm not going to do it all again. That'd be quite creepy. Imagine walking up and down this train at pitch black at night doing that, and people outside are like, what the heck?
You know we're doing that later.
Anyway, follow me. Oh, quick shout out to these.
Love that.
Oh, it's not attached at the bottom.
Be extra careful.
So here we are in the bathroom. I have no idea why I'm still holding this lantern, but you know, cinematic effect. We love the fact that the toilet and the little sink is in a completely separate room. We were literally saying earlier, every hotel room we've had here in Canada, it's all been in one like it is back in the UK. So it's nice to have that separate because the shower's actually here. Love this shower curtain. Let the adventure begin. And then a nice big shower where you can sit down to shower by the looks of it if you really want to. But it's nice that one of you can be showering, the other one can be shaving or
I always thought you was going to say the other S.
sitting on the toilet. Yeah, we love this. Absolutely love it. Love the little touches that they've left. This might be the best Airbnb ever. Also another little touch that we like. They've got their logo and everything on the towels. Well, after our night here in the train carriage, it is time for us to say goodbye to New Brunswick, but we are nowhere near done with Canada yet. In the next video, we will be heading down to Nova Scotia and exploring the city of Halifax. That will be available on the screen now as soon as it's uploaded. Otherwise, why not join us back in Quebec City in the French-speaking part of Canada, where we had a wonderful day exploring the fairy tale streets. We'll see you in one of those videos.